You are listening to Contraband.
First of all, I want to let you know right off the bat that this is not going to be a sports ball post. It's kind of about sports, but not really. So if you don't know, the college football playoffs used to be chosen by like a bunch of dudes, mostly white guys, who just sat at home and said, you know what? This is who I think the best college team in America was this season. And whoever got the most votes would be the champion. And it was like that for 100 years. And then a few years ago, they went to this system. First, they chose 4 teams, and then it expanded to 8, and now it's at 12, a college football playoffs. Again, I promise you, this is going somewhere that's not about sports. This year, there's been this big fury because it expanded to 12 teams, and people are upset about some of the teams that got in, some of the teams that didn't get in. And what this made me think of is this system is really the purest example of DEI. I know we think of sports as this meritocracy, but think about this, right? People are mad that Alabama, the University of Alabama, probably the most blue blood college football program, that they got in, even though they didn't have a great season. They lost their last game, but the college football playoff administrators didn't hold it against them. One of the colleges who felt most aggrieved because they were left out is Notre Dame, which has all of these advantages, but they really didn't beat a good team. They contend that they should have got in because, I don't know, they Notre Dame. Aside from the big blue blood college football programs, they reserve a space for some of the, the smaller, less accomplished programs that are outside of what they call the Power Five. And to me, this is a pure example of how DEI is actually supposed to work. When you think about it, what DEI considers is strength of schedule. I mean, think about it, right? So Alabama says they deserve consideration because they're in the toughest conference and they play the toughest opponents, which one could argue is correct. The same way I could argue 2 out of every 3 Black students attend a majority Black school. We know that majority Black schools are funded at about $1,200 less than majority white schools. We know that the education system has historically excluded Black children and are punished and suspended and expelled for offenses that white kids are not punished as harshly for. There's another study that used papers that were written by Black students and white students, and all they did is just change the name of the students on the papers, and the teachers graded the Black students more harshly and were willing to forgive the white students for their mistakes. We also know that Black schools have fewer resources. They have fewer academic classes, fewer AP classes, fewer international baccalaureate classes. The libraries even have fewer books. When a college admissions takes these things into consideration, that's called equity. We know that people from different backgrounds add to the educational experience. If all the people who attend a college are just people who, did the best on their SATs, and the SAT just measures social economic status, and it doesn't really predict how well a student will do in college. It adds value. In the same way that some of those schools from outside of the Power Conference adds value to the viewing experience, to the tournament, to the competition. Let's be honest, right? It has nothing to do with finding the school that deserves to be the national champion. It's a TV show. They want to get more viewers. And when you include these students, it doesn't harm an institution. Having a more diverse collection of competitors makes the viewing experience better. Another thing that I point out about football is that football players have to be strong, and football players have to be fast, and football players have to be athletic. But if you had a team full of just really fast guys, you're not going to win. If you had a team of really just strong linemen, you're not going to win. You need a team where people have diverse abilities and talents to succeed. Like, if you had a basketball team with 5 Shaquille O'Neals, a team with a point guard who could dribble and pass, a wing who can shoot, and a power forward who could rebound is going to beat the 5 Shaqs every time. Even in the corporate world, right? Like,